Good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to have you here, entrepreneurs, members of the community, and obviously our special guests, which is Daniel from a very special company called Homrun. And tonight we're going to have a very interesting conversation about how do companies enter global markets. That's a big deal. These are big markets and they carry big problems. So let's get into this interesting discussion and meet Daniel. Let's welcome Daniel. Daniel, good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to Eilat,
Thank you so much.
Israel's most southern high-tech scene. That's very exciting. It was a little rainy today. We're used to sun every day almost. So you got to see the other side of Eilat.
You told me about this in Tel Aviv a few months ago. I didn't believe you, so I came to see.
It happened.
Yes.
Okay, so tonight we're going to learn a little bit more about your experience and what brought you to start a very special company that answers a very real need in the industry. Let's start from your fascinating story. Tell us about yourself and what got you into what you're doing today.
Very happy to be here. Thank you. I will tell the story. The story is a story about it's 8 years of my life. I'll do it in around 12 minutes. How's that? Okay, it won't take me 8 years. It starts in 2008. I was 30 years old. Yeah, got it. I got married, and my wife was accepted to art school in New York City. She got a full scholarship. That means $145,000 to study for free in New York. And she told me she's going, and if I want to stay married, I can go with her. I was married for a few months, so marriage looked good then, and I decided that I'll go and stay and stick with it. So I moved to the US in 2008. I was 30 years old, and I landed there, and I was scared. I was scared because I'm starting from the beginning, and it's not easy. We are used to a lot of young Israelis going there when they're 22, 24, starting from the bottom. They have a long time. I knew that I'm getting there at the age of 30 and married. I don't have a lot of time because I know that when she finished studies at 34, 35, in 4 years, I'm coming back. And it's even more scary to come back to Tel Aviv when you're 35 and you've been out of the game for so long. So it's hard to start again from the beginning. So I was worried, and I didn't have any options. I didn't get any good opportunities. No one gave me good opportunities. I got only offers to work in places that gave me $1,000 a month and gave me some kind of internships, and it wasn't interesting. I knew that I had to sort of depend on myself. So what I did is I opened my own business. I was in the business of restoring buildings that were for water damages and fire damages cleanup. It's a big industry in the United States. And everything was at the beginning was good. I got some jobs and I was making some money, but then I understood that I'm hitting a brick wall. I'm hitting a brick wall because I don't know anybody. And that's the biggest problem. You can have a good idea and you can have enough money to start, but if you don't know people in the industry and you don't know how to take it to the next step, that's where you get stuck. So I was making around $350,000 to $400,000 a year of gross revenue, and I took home around $60,000 or $70,000 of profit, but it wasn't enough when you're living in New York City, and my wife is an artist. She needs a lot of expenses to what she's doing, and there wasn't enough to save money. So I was very frustrated, and 2 years into the business, I was really feeling that it's 2 more years to go, and I'm not making enough money to come back to Israel. I took a booth at the home show. Whoever has a startup here and went to one of these exhibitions, and you take a booth, and you stand there, and you hope for the best, and besides people coming and taking your pens and talking to you a bit, nothing really happens over there. So I was frustrated. I left my booth and I started walking around, and I saw a company that took the entire aisle in front of me. So I had a small booth and they took the entire aisle, so I understood that it's something interesting. I spoke with them. I asked, who can I talk to? They told me, you need to speak to Dave. I said, okay, where's Dave? So they said, Dave's coming tomorrow. So I went back to my booth and I waited. The next day Dave came, and he walked between all the booths like he's the president of America or something, like with 11 people with a pamalia around him, and he's walking, and he gets to my booth, and I'm standing there with my business card, and I knew that I want to work with them because they were in the same industry with me, not doing the same thing, so I could sell them the product and they could resell it to their customers. They had, at the time, had 45,000 customers. I had around 4. And the idea was to put my product into their portfolio. So the guy comes to me and he takes my business card and he looks at me and he says, okay, this is great, we can work together. He takes the business card and he goes. The next day, I send him an email. I wait a day or two. You think he answered me? No. So I wait a day or two, he doesn't answer me. I send him a text, wait a day or two, he doesn't answer me. I send him another email, he doesn't answer me. So I call his office and the secretary answers. Her name is Shannon and she was very nice and she promised me he would get back to me and he didn't get back to me. So I will save you guys 8 months of me trying to do everything I can besides getting arrested to get 5 minutes of his time. And when I say everything I can, that means everything I can. My workers used to park their vans outside of his house on the weekend so he can see the vans and remember me and maybe answer my phone. I did everything. I called, I did everything. After 8 months, I decided that's it. I need to make this happen. Every Tuesday when I used to call and speak with Shannon, she used to say that he's out of an office and he's one of their satellite small offices. So on Tuesday, I drove to that satellite small office knowing he's there. So I went in and I said, that's it, I'm going to talk to him. I go in and I see Shannon. I didn't know she sits there. I thought she sits in the main office. And I said, hi, come on, Shannon. 5 minutes, let me speak with him, and that's it. And I'm not going to call you anymore. And I actually see him. He's in the back of the room, and he's in this glass office. And she plays his phone tag thing, but she picks up the phone. He picks up the phone, and they go like this for a few moments. She puts the phone down, and she says, no, I'm sorry, he just came back from vacation. He doesn't have time today. So I said, okay, I was in the area, you know that trick. I didn't want her to feel uncomfortable. So I said I was in the area, and I left. And I gave up. I can't do more than that. I was in his face, he saw me, and he said no. So I didn't continue from there. But 3 weeks later, I got an invitation to one of these meetups in New York. It was a Hanukkah Christmas party with the real estate agents in the area, and they invited me. Now this group has been inviting me for a long time, and I didn't want to go to the meetups. There was nothing interesting about it. But I saw that the key speaker is David Fine. And there's only 15 people coming. So I said, this is my opportunity. So I told my wife to get dressed, and we're going to a Christmas party. She doesn't like parties. She doesn't like people. She's an artist. She likes to be in her studio. So it wasn't an easy move for both of us. We went there, and I go in, and my wife, yes, when can we go home? And I said, we can go home when I speak to that guy in the red sweater. Then we can go home. So I go to him, and I stand in front of him, and I say, hi. He says, Dave. I said, I'm Daniel. And he says, nice to meet you. I said, no. We did this already in the past. This is not going anywhere. This is not working. So he says, you're the guy that's been calling every day. Yes, that's me. I've been calling every day. And then I told him one thing. I said, Dave, listen, I think I can be worth millions of dollars for your company, or I might be stupid and a liar. Your job is to give me 5 minutes and decide that, but you cannot ignore me. So he said, you know what, you're right, I'm sorry. You've been so, patient, and he felt uncomfortable, and he said, come to my office tomorrow. The next day I come to his office, I say hi to Shannon, I'm here for Dave. And I walk in and I sit with Dave, and he says to me, okay, this is interesting, what do you want? I said, I want you to buy my company. He said, but I'm not the owner. I'm the sales manager. I said, shit.
ובזה זה נגמר.
את השיט היא לא כותבת? So I said, shit, I was running after the wrong person. He said, yes. I said, okay, so who's the owner? He said, David. I said, okay, then take me. I said, listen, if you want to be a vendor on our list and get some jobs, you should go and speak to that guy. He's in charge of the vendor list. Now, I was in America for only a year and a half, too. I didn't know what the word vendor list is, but the word list I didn't like about it. I said to him, listen, I'm Israeli. We don't do lists. I am the list. Okay, I want you to get rid of the list, and I want you to work only with me. He said, of that you need to speak with the owner. I said, let's go. He said, wait a minute. You promised you can do all those things, A, B, and C, and D. Show me you can do them, and I'll take you to the owner. I said, fine. I went home. We worked together for 3-4 months. He gave me some jobs. I did a very good service to them. I won't go into the details, but it was a very good synergy. And the day came, and he said to me, okay, you can come and meet the owner. So I come, and I go, and I meet the owner. And I was ready to do my thing. I researched the guy, and I learned that it's a very strong Jewish philanthropy running in the veins of that family. They donate a lot of money to Israel. Their father just came back from Ethiopia trying to find the last Falashmura Jews and bring them to Israel, and really involved in donating money to Jewish schools and everything. So I knew that I have to play that card, and we'll talk about that later, about when you go there, when you meet Jews and what it means and things like that. So I knew I have to play that card, and I go there and he comes out. Now you all know what an elevator speech is, right? So I prepared my elevator speech. So what's an elevator speech? What do you?
Few minutes.
Few minutes.
Few minutes until the elevator.
When were you in the elevator lately for a few minutes? It's 20 seconds, it's 5 seconds, it's 10 seconds. But it's not even that. An elevator speech, you were right, is that it's a closed doors and he has to talk to you. That's what an elevator speech is. And I didn't even get that. The guy comes out, he shakes my hand and he continues walking. So instinctively, and I didn't plan this, I grabbed his hand. So he looks at me and he says to me, yes. And I said, hi, I'm Daniel, I'm from Israel. Now I knew that if I have one word to say, that's what I'm saying. Not business, not money. If I had a lot of words, I would talk about my business. But he gave me one word to say until he gets uncomfortable. And then he said, really? My family is really supportive of Israel. And I said, really? I didn't know. And he said, yeah, I went to Tel Aviv, I studied. I said, in Tel Aviv you don't study, you play basketball, you go to the beach. He said, you're right. It was 20 years ago. I don't remember too much classrooms from then. I said, listen, I think we could do some good business together, but I need to go. I said I need to go because that's something that I teach a lot of startups, and they tend to sort of miss it. When someone gives you 10 minutes, use 9. When someone gives you a minute, use half. Don't use 11 when he gives you 10. Talking one minute too much. When he has to say he has to go, then it's his job to re-engage now. If I disconnect, it's my job to connect. If he says I need to go, then okay, will you call me? Will you this? I told him, listen, I see you're in a rush and I need to go too. Can I call you tomorrow? He said yes. So I went home and I wrote him an email. It took me 7 hours to write 2 sentences. And I wrote, David, I see that you're very busy. You built a beautiful company. It says a lot about you. I'll make it very simple. I can be worth billions of dollars for your company. He said, come to my office tomorrow morning. So I went to the office the next day and I sat with him. And he said, okay, this is interesting. What do you want? I said, I want you to buy my company. And he said, but I know you for 5 minutes. And I said, but you asked me what I want. And from now on, until the end of our relationship, when you ask me what I want, I'm going to answer. I'm not going to go like this. I want to buy my company. And he said, why? I said, I want to go back to Israel. And I knew who I'm talking to. He wants me to go back to Israel. We're doing a negotiation where he wants me to win. So I said, okay, how do we do this? And he said, you need to meet my brother. I said, guys, come on. Another one and another one. Who do I need to talk to over here? He said, no, me and my brother, we make the decisions. I said, okay. So I met the both brothers. They said they're interesting. And they said that I need to meet everybody in the company. The lawyers, the founders, the board, the management team, their investors, their father. I need to meet everybody. So we went through a list and it was 11 meetings. And I told them, guys, every Wednesday at 1, I'm here. You can bring whoever you want. They said, don't you put it in the calendar? I said, no. Any Wednesday at 1, I'm here. The last thing I need is that 11 meetings now have to be scheduled. And that's also something I teach. Put it in stone in the calendar and don't move it. That's it. At the same meeting. The next week I came Wednesday at 1. They were not there. And sorry, we forgot. You want to do it tomorrow? I said, no, next Wednesday at 1. I want it to be every Wednesday at 1. So next Wednesday I came. I had the first meeting. And then I had 11 meetings in a row. And I met all the people that I'm supposed to meet, all the due diligence process. And then the final day came. And they said they want to meet and talk about buying the company. So I was driving there, and I was thinking, this is a bit too early for me. I'm not making enough money. There's not enough valuation for the company. And on the way there, I'm thinking, how can I get out of this thing? My company at the time was making around $500,000 of gross revenue and around $100,000 of profit. In the real world, not the startup world, that means the company is worth $200,000, $250,000. You multiply by 2, 3, it's not Mobileye. You don't multiply by 19,000, okay? So there was no really revenue. There was not enough to set it. The real number was $250,000. That's not enough for me. It wasn't worth it for me. So I drive there and I sit there and I have sort of a plan. And they say, okay, everything is good. We want to buy your company. How much do you want? I said $2.5 million. That's exactly how they reacted. Yes. Can you do it again? Yeah. And they said, why do you think the company is worth $2.5 million? So I said, I don't think it's worth. You asked me how much I want. And they said, okay. I said, I want to go back home to Israel. I want to buy a house, start my life, and I need $2.5 million.
I have to make it.
So they said, okay, why do you think we'll give you $2.5 million? I said, I didn't say you'll give me. You asked how much I want. So they said, guys, sorry, are we stuck? I said, no, I have a plan, I have an idea. They said, okay, let's hear it. I said, listen, you're not taking all the company, right? They said, no, we're taking 60% of the company. I said, okay, take 60% of the company, you don't have to pay me. They said, okay, that's good. I said, okay, here 60% is yours. I keep 40. I'll stay here for another 3 years. We'll grow the company. But I take all the profits from the first 3 years and go back to Israel, whatever they are. Okay, they said, so in 3 years we get 60% of the company without paying? They said, yes. I said, yes, but there's one catch to it. Remember the $2.5 million? They said, yes. I said, I'm going home with $2.5 million anyway. So if we don't make $2.5 million, you have to match $2.5 million. So if we make $2.2 million, you have to just put in $300,000. But now it's worth it. The company just made $2.2 million. And I was talking numbers. I was making $100,000 a year. It wasn't even close to what I can make. So they negotiated down to $2.2 million, which looked ridiculous to me. It was up there. And they said that they have the right to refuse. So if we make only $1 million, they can put, they don't have to put $1.2 million. It's too much for them. They can say they don't want to do it. But anyway, I grew to $1 million, so it's fine for me. So that's how I pulled them into the deal. And it's a very smart deal because the more we make, the less they will pay. A lot of small startups, they sell their companies to bigger companies, nothing happens. It stays there. Because the big company is not pushing it. I see so many startups that partner with Coca-Cola or partner with this, but the company isn't growing. So don't sell the company and put all the money at the beginning. Put the money at the end, keep them an incentive to push the company. So the more we make, the less they pay. So I came to them in 2011 with $450,000, and we made $100,000 of profit, and we finished 2014 with $9.7 million of gross revenue, and we made $2.7 million of profit in 3 years. I took $2.2 million and moved back to Israel. 40% of the company is still mine. The company is making around $6 to $7 million a year today, and it's worth $12 million. That's my story. I finished it. But the last thing I want to add, and that relates to what we're doing today, and probably you have another question. Yeah, is that when we grew the company, I saw that they were making introductions mostly in the Jewish world. So the introductions they were making were to their friends in the Jewish world. It was like not even hiding it. Hi Jason, I know you have a lot of buildings. You probably need service from this guy, and he's also one of the tribe. He's also one of us. I showed it to my wife. She said it's racist. I said so soft racist on my side, right? So who cares? So they were really working the Jewish side of it all the time. I wanted to meet this guy. This guy come to Bet Knesset on Saturdays. So I went to Bet Knesset. Come to play golf with me. I'm going to play golf in the Jewish club, and I'm meeting that guy. So all the connections were from the Jewish world. And that's what I was looking from the side, and I was shocked. But that's something I took with me, and I thought I need to do something with. So that's my 8 years and I think 11 minutes.
I think that where you finished that story, which is very, very insightful, there are a lot of different tips planted in there, which I think the audience should listen to. Where you ended that story is a great way to enter the next question, which is exactly the reason that led you to start Homrun. I think it has to do with the connections.
It definitely has to do. When I was coming back to Israel, this time he grabbed me. He's like, where are you going? This was fun. Let's do more business together. And I said to myself, listen, what just happened to me? A lot of times I also, again, speaking of tips, when I work with Israeli companies, I tell them that the mistake they make is that they analyze failures and they celebrate successes. And I think it has to be the opposite. You have to analyze your successes. Because it's always like failure, why did it happen? Failure, why did it happen? Success, let's go drink something. No, success, let's stop and understand why this is happening. How can we duplicate it? And I looked at what happened to me in those years, and I understood that what they gave me, those two guys, Danny and Dave, wasn't money. They gave me connections. They put me in the right rooms. If they would give me $500,000 a few years ago, I wouldn't necessarily have the same success. They gave me their name, they gave me their reputation. And sometimes that's much more important. So I said to myself, what if I come back to Israel and open an organization that will look for Israeli companies and find them there, Danny and Dave, in America, that in 2 phone calls can change their business? Because there's so much mentorship here, and there's so much money here, and there's so much investors here, and there's so much accelerators here, and there's so much everything. But someone to tell you, who do you want to meet? 5 minutes, I'll put you in a room with him. That's sometimes what the startups are missing. So I said, let's take what happened to me and duplicate it and do it for another company or another few companies.
Okay, so now we understand why you did, what you opened and started Homrun, but let's talk about what is Homrun and how it works.
So I told Danny and Dave that I want to do this thing where we take Jews and we ask them to help Israeli companies. And they said it sounds stupid, but 3 years ago it sounded stupid and we did well, so let's try this one too. And I said, okay. I said, give me 5 friends that you know that are very Israel supportive and they're very business savvy, and we can ask them if they want to do this. So they brought 5 friends into one of their homes in the living room. If you go to our Facebook page and scroll down, you can see that exact picture when I'm standing and speaking to 4 people and trying to convince them to do this. And we were talking, and it was a nice conversation. I didn't have anything really baked. And the next morning, 4 of them were in my office to sign up to my new organization. I don't have an organization yet. There's nothing to sign up. I don't have an agreement. I don't have a bank account. They have a check in their hand. And I understood that I had something special. What I told them that last night was that I'm planning to do something. And the first guy that came to me, he said to me, I asked him, Bill, what's so special about what I spoke about last night? And I wanted to understand that, what I have in my hands. And he said to me, Daniel, I've been donating money to Israeli causes all my life. I'm 59. I probably gave thousands and millions of dollars to Israel. You're the first Jewish organization that wants my phone book and not my checkbook. You're the first Jewish organization that wants me, my abilities, my capabilities, and my knowledge. Come on, what do you need? I said, okay. And that's when I understood that it's not that I'm asking them a favor. I may be even doing them a favor. Because these people are so orientated to help over here, and they're looking for different ways to do it, and I just found a different way to do it. So the way it works is that those people that I started talking to, I started talking to a few more, and today we have this organization called Homrun. I can do this, right? This way? Yes. I started to recruit members. I stayed in America for another 2 months, and the way it works is that members join my organization. They pay $15,000 to join. It's a one-time fee. They pay $15,000 to buy a seat in my organization. There's only 60 seats in Homrun. So the reason that I think this worked is because the same guy that told me phone book and not checkbook, he also told me don't dare close the group before I get you my 2 friends in Detroit. I said, why? Why are you so stressed about it? You're the first one, I have 59 to go. He says, trust me, Americans will want to do this. I said, okay, and that's why I understood I had something interesting. So I started to work and I told it. They pay $15,000 to join my organization and they buy a seat. So I stayed in America, and this is my team, and this is all the members that joined my organization. I have 117 people in my organization today from all over the United States and Canada that are waiting for you guys to see how they can help you. From different industries, and from different sectors with different knowledge. You can go to our website, you can click each one of them and see who he is, why he came to Homrun, what he knows how to help you, and what his industry is and how he can help you. So I took $15,000 from each one of them, and they gave me the money, and I took it to Israel, and I opened a beautiful office in Yafo, in Tel Aviv, and I meet Israeli companies. We met 915 companies in the last 2 years, and they come to us, and they give us a regular pitch, but the regular pitch cannot be a regular pitch, and I'm telling it to anybody that's here that wants to come and talk to us. We're not here to buy a product. We're not here to invest in you. We're here to listen if we can help. So, okay, we got it. You're going to save the world, and you're going to do this, and it's worth millions, but fine. Who do you want to meet? That's what we want to talk about. So we have to leave time for that. So we talk about who do you want to meet, and you tell us, and we write it down. We send you home. And then what we do is we take your information, and we send it through a system we developed. Our members, when they bought a seat, they get a user and a password to a system we developed. I'll show you something here. I know you can't see it exactly, but you just have to see the picture. So what we do is we take your information, and once a week we send one company through our system. So you give us a one-pager, you give us your video, we send it through the system. Every Sunday, one company. So it looks like this. Our members get an email every Sunday that says Homrun Homework. And what they do is they press a link, and it takes them into our system. At this point, it takes them into one of the companies. They press Vet Now. Yes, no, yes. And they see the one-pager or the movie that you just sent. And then they press Continue, and it tells them what you're looking for. This company is looking for retail stores. So now they know what the company does and who they want to meet. And then they press Next again, and it asks them 2 questions. One is, do you think this product can work? Yes, no, and why? So we want their opinion. They're people that know the industry. It's a great vetting process. And 2, is there any connections you can provide? If he writes yes, that he has a connection, it opens a box, and he just has to write who he knows, where he works, And what's his relationship with him? When we ask what's his relationship with him, we want to know how comfortable he is to make the introduction, if it really happened. Okay? Since then, we also, to make it more accurate, we added over here, between 1 to 10, how feasible is it to get a meeting? Can you make this happen? Because we had a guy that wrote in the relationship, it's my ex-wife. So can you call her? You can't call her.
So that's a 0.
Yeah. No, he said call her every day 10 times. So they have to write 1 to 10. It doesn't matter. It doesn't enough for me to say who you know. So they write that and they press submit and they go back to their life. They're like Shark Tanks. They see a company, they give their opinion. So they enjoy the process. They're waiting for the companies. They write what they think. They write who they know, and they go back to their life. What we do is we wait around 10 days, and then we get the results. This is ending in a moment. I don't want to do it too deep, but we go into the company. We go into the company, and we go into what we call vetting data. Now, what I'm going to show you now is really, really powerful. It's something that if companies use it right, then it can really be beneficial very fast. What we do is we get all the answers from the members. So in this company, there's 81 members that answered already. 62 think this product can work. The rest are not sure. And 42 gave us connections. We have 42 retail chains. We can get this Israeli company in North America before they even step there. Where you scroll down, you can see all the answers, all the feedback, and all the connections they can give us. This company is working with us for around 2 months. We sent them to one tour to the United States. We took them to Bloomingdale's, to Macy's, to Canadian Tire, to Radio Shack, which closed since then. And we took them to TJ Maxx, to Century 21, and they're very close to closing a pilot now with Subway and with McDonald's because of us. So the guy landed, he had 12 days in the United States, and he had 16 meetings, and he came back. He didn't have to plan them, he didn't have to schedule them, he didn't have to do anything. So, the way it works is that we show you the feedback, and then we call you back to the office, and we sign an agreement with you guys. We take a commission of the deal if it happens. It's risk-free for Israeli companies. We don't charge you for what we did, we don't charge you for what we do. If you sign the deal, be kind enough to keep our business running and give us part of the deal. Some companies pay us in revenue, some companies pay us in equity. Why? There's products out there that the price of the revenue is nothing. They're hoping that someone will buy them for 100 million, but the product is either for free or for a few cents. So we can't make money on that. So we tell them, okay, if we get you $1 million of deals, you give us 1% of the company or 2% of the company. Every customer, every company we work with is a different agreement. We're doing cybersecurity, we're doing high-tech, we're doing fruit, we're doing bicycle seats, we're doing stockings. Because we see ourselves as a taxi driver. It doesn't matter what you're taking, it matters where you want to go. So if I know somebody at Costco, you can sell them cybersecurity, you can sell them fruit. If I know somebody at Costco, I can take anybody there. So we're very open to every industry, and anybody who wants to come to us, we're very proud that we're working with low-tech and no-tech and factories, and we're really creating jobs in Israel. So, we sign an agreement, you agreed to give us, let's say, 7% of the deal. So we reach back to the member, and we say, hey Jason, remember that you said that you know how to take this company to Macy's? He says, yes, it's shidduch time, let's do this. So we connect you with Jason gets to know you a bit, and Jason makes an introduction between you and his friend, and he gets you in the room with the right person in the organization you wanted to meet. You either fly there or you do the meeting online, the way you do it. We help you with everything we can to close the deal, because I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. It's not easy to sit in Walmart and close a deal, as much as you think it is. And we have a lot of tools that I'll elaborate on them later how to close the deal, but we help. And if you close the deal, let's say you got $1 million, you said you'll give us 7%, you write us a check for $70,000. That money comes into my organization, and 40% of it, first of all, it pays all my expenses, so that time we can keep operational. We don't need donations from nobody. I decided not to be a non-profit. And if we make profit, and we will be profitable very soon, 40% of the profits stay in Israel. They go to me, the rest of the founders, and all my workers in my office. And 60% of the profits go back to North America and are distributed equally back to all the members. It's a kibbutz. It doesn't matter who did what and who made what introduction. And that is the power that is moving this thing around. Because if somebody that is very wealthy disappears and he doesn't work with us for a month or two because he's busy, he says, it doesn't matter, I won't make money. But he knows that his friends are working, and that's why he's making money, he feels uncomfortable. So this company is working on guilt. Jewish kids. Every time we have a success, we celebrate it. Thanks, Jason, you made a great intro. I see all the members coming to the CRM and saying what they can do. So they don't feel comfortable. It's a very small group. They all know each other. So this is what's moving it together. What you don't know is that, what they know is that they also see what they're doing. They're geographically, they're on the website based on their performance, how high they are. Or if they're to the left or to the right, they know. So it's embarrassing if you're not doing it, you're not helping the group. So that's how it works. And members that don't help or are not contributing, we give them $15,000 back and we send them home. And we get somebody else. And that's really, really in your community. Because I take a few people from each city, so it creates a culture. You know, I went to Montreal not long ago. I spoke in front of 75 people, and I started the presentation by saying I'm taking only 5. So that the people know that they're taking a spot that somebody else wants, and that they paid for it and they committed for it, so they won't just come here to play games. So I'm telling all you guys, all these guys are available and they're working for us. They're really good soldiers. So that's how it works. And in summarizing it, what the Israeli companies get is magic. We put companies in National Geographic, in NASA, in Walt Disney, in all the ones in the retail stores, in Hilton, in Hyatt, and things like that. And what the Americans and the Canadians get is, one is a new way to help Israel. They can, with their phone book and not their checkbook, like I said. The second thing they get is to be part of the community. And this is a really closed community that has a lot of ego, and they want to see things. I will surprise you guys. I have members that are worth $400 million. But when they finish vetting a company, I ask them if they want to see what the other people wrote, and they spend 40 minutes reading it, because I know what they're doing on the website. So they want to see who has a better lead and who knows who, because that's what they're living, that's their life. So it's a social game. The third thing they get is opportunities to work with these companies. As long as they make a shidduch for me, they can do whatever they want. They can invest in the company, buy the company, marry the guys, do whatever they want with them. I give them the opportunities, and a lot of my members are coming here because whatever you tell them about Israel, they want to do. But there's some members that tell me on the side, they say, okay, Zionism is nice, get me some interesting companies. They came for the business, and that's fine. I don't mind that. A lot of the deals that we signed lately are members that took the companies into their own companies, which is great. And the last thing they get is a paycheck. If everything works, they get a check at the end of the year. And it doesn't matter if you're worth 100 million or 100,000. To get a $10,000 check for something you enjoy doing is fine. Did you ever go to the gym and get a check? So they're going to do something they like, and they get paid for it. So it's a win-win situation, and it's an interesting psychological game. That's how it works, and you probably have a lot of questions, and we'll leave time for that.
Yeah, there's an interesting concept in sailing that says that if you don't know where you're going, then the wind is never in your favor. So there's a big problem for companies when you talk about value and understanding what is your value, what do you offer. That's a big problem for companies. We just had Ruli here, one of the founders of Giga, and he also said that one of his investors says that companies never die of starvation, they die of indigestion.
Yes.
Which is also an interesting saying.
Yes.
So your job is amazing, and it's to make those connections. But when a lot of companies don't know what they're offering, or they're not focused enough, what do you have to say about that?
We're in the trend of quoting, so I'll quote a very big philosopher. He said that all the plans can be nice until you get punched in the face. His name was Mike Tyson. And that's right, you can plan everything you want, you get in the ring and you get punched and that's it, right? So I say get in the ring. I'll be careful with what I say now over here, but there's a saying, הזנב מקשקש בכלב. You say it in English, I think, also. The tail is... The dog wags the dog. Right. Gee. Right. So I think that in the industry over here, there's people that are industry and there's people that are supporting the industry. And sometimes the support of the industry becomes too strong. And I see a lot of startups that come to me after a year or two in their startup. And what did you do until now? I was at this accelerator, I won this competition, I spoke on this stage, and I mentored this, and he mentored me. I said, and customers? Maybe later. So I say that you have to be very careful and understand that the first year, if it's comfortable and nice, you're doing something wrong. It's like when you're biking. If it's hard, that means you're climbing. And they make it so comfortable. If the accelerator takes you and they give you money and they take you here and they give you a mentor, but it's fun and it's easy and if everything looks good, that means you're not doing anything. You have to be at Walmart begging for a meeting. And I think meeting the market as much as fast as possible. That's what we do. Come to us, we'll take you to somebody, he'll punch you in the face, you'll go back and go to a different direction. That's fine. But do it at month number 2, not in month number a year into. And I'm not saying don't get help, but sometimes those people that are coming to help you mostly want to help themselves. And I sort of see too many people going that direction. So I know it was a big and vague, but I have an anti for something.
Go meet the market as soon as possible.
Yes.
Good. I think that when you present your company, then you basically present the opportunity for companies to go meet the market. And I think that from your years of experience, you met many companies that are trying to do that. If you talk about the entrepreneurs that you met, give us a couple of insights as far as what you think good entrepreneurs do that you recommend to other people to do, and what you saw people that are doing, actions that they did that you say, that's a deal killer, never do that again.
I will speak from my standpoint. I'm a people person. I'm a relationship person. I'm a mover. I know how to move people. I know how to convince people. And I teach that a lot. And I will come from where my knowledge is. So first of all, I say no is no, and all the rest is yes. So if no one said no, it's still a yes. Remember me running after Dave? I see a lot of Israeli startups. I sent him 2 emails. He didn't answer me. He probably doesn't want it. Did he say no? No. So continue sending emails. When you meet him, and he said no, that's something else. And until he met you, he's not saying no to you. He's saying no to 10,000 emails he just got today. So don't take it personally, and don't have ego. I beg for people to meet me. When they meet me, I play the game of, if not you, I'll sell to somebody else and something. But until they met me, they don't know who I am, and I'm just another guy running after them. And some people are being run by a lot of people. So I say don't give up until you get the meeting, and some people do that. The second thing is I want to talk about the Jewish factor. I don't know if you know that when you go there, there's Jews there too, and there's a lot of them in the industries you want, and sometimes we make mistakes. Americans are friendly; they're not your friends, and that's something that sometimes we confuse. We see someone Jewish and his cousin lives in Haifa, and we start. That's it. All the guards go down, and you start telling them about this, and your girlfriend this, and that this, and it's not the right way to do it. I do say there is an advantage if you met a Jew. But I say, I think that it's the second date. It's not the first one. It feels like a second date. You know people, you can talk about something, but you still need 8 dates to get married. It took me 7 years to convince her. Yeah. Should be here somewhere. So the fact that it's, look at you. Yeah.
Speak louder.
Speak. כל קצב. מההתחלה? So I think it's use the advantage. I mean, speak about Israel, talk about whatever, but understand that doesn't mean he's going to buy a product. That's what I'm saying. Another thing very important is I say pull them in with what, not how. What you do, not how you do it. You listening? I save lives. How? Let's talk. Not I built a machine that does this and you work in a hospital, I save lives with my machine. Let's talk. You sell insurance, I can sell you more insurance. How? Let's talk. You don't need someone to tell him what you do. You don't tell him how you do, tell him what you can do for him. And that's something. I said before what you think worked and duplicated. I said it in my thing before that if you see something that worked, you need to go into the bone and analyze it. But the biggest thing is the motivational thing. I think based on what you said about the digestive before, I think most of you people will fail because you'll stop at door number 98 that you try to open, and the success was at door 99. And the success is not linear. It's not that if it took me 6 months to get one customer, now it will take you 6 days to get another customer, and then 6 hours to get another customer. So the success is 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's not linear. So you can't look at that time. It's like when, whoever knows over here, when you have a baby and the first week he starts crying, you think all your life will be like this now. But no, it's gonna get better. I'm sorry over there. I'm sorry. At first I didn't mean that. It's wonderful. But it's not. You're in a situation that looks tough, but you need to look at yourself from outside and understand that everybody was in this situation. Some people succeeded, so no one jumped over that situation. I can go on forever, but you'll have to have an hour of these tips. We bought some piece of paper that maybe we can give you later, and you can ask any questions you want. But I'll stop.
Wonderful. Well, first of all, Daniel, I think it was a very interesting conversation. A lot of insights, a lot of experience, and very innovative idea for a company. Definitely a lot of value to your partners and to your clients. So I would like to, in the name of the guys and the ladies that are here in the audience, entrepreneurs and people from our community, thank you for being here, and a lot of insights that hopefully would help a lot of new companies grow. So thanks, Daniel, and